Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun.
Alright, welcome back to Stealing Home. This week we got a lot of cool things to talk about, a lot of rated X things to talk about, some nasty stuff going on with Fanatics in their uniforms, so they got to figure that out. And just some stuff going around the league. Spring training's kicked off and started, so I'm excited to start talking about it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Baseball is back.
Officially,
almost.
Kind
of. We're getting there.
Yeah, you're right. But the postseason is officially over, as you like to call it.
Yes, right, exactly.
Postseason's gone, and now we're just in spring training, which is the postseason.
I don't know. I've lost count. We're getting close. That's all I know.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures, but you know how they made a lot of rule changes with the pitch clock.
Yeah, of course.
The runner's lane.
Mm-hmm.
All in an effort.
We talked about it.
Yeah, all in an effort to make the game like faster.
Yeah. Get
some balls in play.
Okay.
Well, Fanatics said let's pitch in and try to see if we can get some balls in play in the major leagues. Have you been seeing what's going on with the uniforms?
I have, yes.
What's your take on that? Because at first everyone was complaining about the jerseys and the lettering on the jerseys being small.
Right.
And just generally looking terrible.
Yeah.
And then the players actually started wearing them and they noticed the pants were see-through. So
yeah, I was like,
we haven't talked about this. I want to ew. I mean, it is so gross though, because that's that's like actually a thing. Like, you don't have to go to a male strip club anymore. You just buy tickets to a baseball game.
Right, exactly.
And it's quite frankly nasty.
I was actually pretty shocked when I saw some of the pictures. I really couldn't believe that they went with that amount of see-through.
Well, it's not see-through. It's not that. It's performance-based, so it's stretchier, breathable.
Right. That's what I found funny was that I did look this up because I just couldn't hold back until right now. And I saw the pants and I thought, okay, so that's what we're going with. Interesting call. I guess inflation is really cutting back everywhere. And then I saw that MLB justified it by saying that the pants were, I believe, like 25% stretchier and would dry 28% faster. And I actually came up with a business plan that I think would help MLB if they're really concerned about stretchiness and keeping their players dry. No pants. The fastest and most stretchy pants, it's actually proven, are no pants at all. So it seems like we're trending in that way. Who knows? Maybe 4 seasons from now, we'll just have completely no pants players. But
stick the dudes out there in body
paint. What do we do? Yeah, exactly.
Body paint at this point.
Yeah, but then they'll say, the paint hinders performance. So let's just go full skins and skins, apparently.
Pop and I talked about this last week, but we were going over the Fanatics jerseys. So Nike makes all the jerseys for the major leagues.
Sure.
But they license it out to Fanatics to make it, and they just put the Nike swoosh on there.
Okay.
They're saying it was performance-based and tested by, it's the most tested sports jersey.
They said the lettering is because the bulkiness is, they're less bulky now, which I don't know when baseball turned apparently into swimming, where we really have to are the guys going to start shaving their arms for aerodynamic purposes?
No.
When you've got a guy, let's start with maybe diets or something. I don't know.
They said, what I was saying is that they said this was the most tested sports jersey ever of all sides. This is the most rigorous testing for performance that they've ever done. It's dude, you play baseball.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That might make sense if we're putting this on a track runner. I was gonna say, I know that baseball players are athletes. It's not what I'm trying to say at all.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Guys, have we seen the physiques on some of these?
Whoa,
How about we start with
let's not go there, because you got Aaron Judge, Giancarlo. We got dogs that are Greek god physique.
I didn't say all of them. I said some of them.
Okay.
On some of these guys, let's start let's put a little less testing into the jerseys and a little bit more testing into our.
But you would think
plans.
Testing wise, out of all the sports that would need rigorous testing for their uniforms, like you wouldn't think it'd be baseball. You think like track,
No.
decathlon, like like
you could
Olympic
probably put
sports.
these guys in like jeans, honestly, and they
Yeah,
might play
probably.
just as fine.
I've seen dudes at Sunday leagues ball out in jeans.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Like,
where does
you
it
could
stop? Are we
put
gonna?
these guys in jeans and chanclas, and they'd be just as good as they were in the DR.
Where does this stop? Are we gonna?
That's literally what I said. Like, we're just gonna have
No. I'm talking about in terms of sports performance.
Oh.
Like, are we gonna see Joey Chestnut wearing like see-through pants, eating hot dogs? You know who
It,
Joey
it'll
Chestnut
never
is?
end. It'll
Okay.
never end. It'll never end.
So-
and it is something fun about sports. The constant desire to like optimize and always be better. And when you're playing at an
Yeah,
elite
but this is
level,
not
normally like those small margins do matter. But this is like out of control.
I call BS on all that. The most rigorous tested.
This is what's also funny about the pants dry 28% faster is that you know what happens when it rains in baseball?
Yeah, I think they're talking about for sweat though.
Okay. But still, like,
I don't
how
know.
much-
Anyway, if
like,
you're profusely sweating like
that's
that,
what
buddy.
I'm saying. Like, what are you talking about? What are we throwing them in a pool? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
I don't know. I really don't. In case the sprinklers come on mid-game.
Right now, baseball has like a 500-yard lap session.
I don't know.
Like, what's going on?
But
It's funny. But in how it's not funny.
I was gonna call. Hopefully, I was gonna say hopefully it's figured out by the season when regular season starts, because I hope it fixes itself like next week.
I think it was the Padres who
Some players are wearing old last year's pants, like they're screw that.
they don't even have pants yet.
No, I don't know.
I think it was, I can't remember who on the Padres
Probably
was
for the best.
He was saying he wanted to give his critique on the pants, but he couldn't because I guess they got all the sizing wrong on all the players somehow, and so they don't have pants.
I was gonna say I call BS on all that performance testing bull crap, right? To make it sound good. I think they just cut back on like try to make a cheaper jersey.
100%.
Which is not right.
100%.
Like you make a cheaper jersey for the fans to buy, maybe, but not the play like your actual athletes to wear. It just makes your product look bad if you're Major League Baseball.
I
It's
completely
ugly.
agree. No, I mean I don't. That's why I brought up the they're stretchier
Yeah.
and they're dry faster.
It's
like
cheaper.
If that's what we're talking about, then they don't need uniforms at all. Just let them go out there, and I guess
Yeah.
we'll watch that. Like, yeah, it's just say what it is. And honestly, MLB, if the margins are that bad on this sport that we're
And they're not.
letting the boys play in these see-through pants, then we got bigger
It's probably
problems.
not MLB. It's probably like a Nike Fanatics thing. It's probably like a more so Fanatics thing.
My thing with this stuff always comes down to it doesn't just happen in a silo. Someone does have to see it and say oh yeah,
that's good.
It goes on a model and then the model wears it and they go, oh yeah, no, that's fine, go for it. And so they never thought
I can see your nuts.
maybe we should back up a little bit, guys.
They were like, I like
Can
that.
we get another layer on that? Yeah. Yeah, someone over there was like, actually,
Actually,
these are the best pants I've ever made.
I think we got something going. You really changed the game of baseball. So
You know what? Yeah, I want it. I think we're onto something, guys.
have you seen any pictures?
I have.
Okay.
I saw
I wonder if you've
Ohtani.
Well,
And
here is
who's the
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto? Yeah, I saw the.
And you can
the two
see.
of them.
Well, I feel bad for this poor sap. Can you see? You can literally see. Okay, one, you see the tag on. You can see his jersey tucked in, which is a terrible look.
Here's the thing. Thank God his jersey is tucked in.
No, well you can.
Because that's what I was noticing in all these pictures. I'm like, if they weren't tucking in their jerseys, are we just gonna see whatever boxers they decided to wear?
Well, you
they're all
can-
gonna have Me Undies sponsorships.
Even with his jerseys tucked in, you can see his underwear.
Right, yeah, you see
can
the Nike
his
logo right there, yeah.
the skin on his thighs, and you see the briefs, the sliders he's wearing with the Nike logo on there. So I saw a funny tweet, and it was like, hey, if you want MLB to fix the pants, what you do is you just get logos on your underwear, like Cheeto. I saw a picture Cheetos logo.
Me Undies sponsored. All of them
yeah.
are going to be sponsored
Yeah.
by an underwear company or by companies
Yeah.
that want to buy their underwear.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then MLB won't be able to show the camera on your
MLB
Johnson.
will probably find a way to say that they own their underwear too, and say hey, sorry guys, you're all sponsored by.
You have to wear this underwear.
Bud Light now.
And it's
Here's-
see-through underwear. That's disgusting. MLB, you're in a dark spot. We need to figure this out.
We thought
This is the entire Phillies. Well, not the entire Phillies, but a group
we
of them.
thought that we thought our biggest problems were where the A's were gonna play, and then all the boys came out and we were like, whoa, let's put some of the boys away.
Yeah. They're rule changes? Nah. Let's show Johnson's. There's this dude on the Giants. He's got a sack out. Just bad.
I just feel bad for the players. Like, I wouldn't want to wear this to work.
Even the wives are making fun of apparently some of the wives are like, "Oh no, we're all for it." See all the Johnsons out there. I don't know.
I wouldn't want my look. If I was married to a baseball player, I would not be happy with this.
This next one is really bad. I don't even know if we should show it, but I'm gonna.
Just show it. Yeah.
I know, but I want to preface the next picture with I was telling Pop about this in the car, and I showed him the phone, and his reaction was, "Oh, get that away from me! I don't want to see that."
Okay.
So this is like the MLB turned it into the LFL.
Is this gonna be the Drake video? Like, is
It's borderline Drake. It's not good. I almost want to get that off the screen.
No.
You can pause it on that if y'all want to see that. But
what? See, that's like not right for him. I feel bad for that player. That is a normal motion to bend
good.
down, and now he's being exposed by no fault of his own.
Now, I don't know. I want to say this. I don't know if that was the pants on that one. That guy might just be blessed.
It just makes me really sad for them, honestly. Like, I'm really sad.
No, just put some players.
Is this where we are, guys? MLB, is this where we're at this point? Nike, whoever, like.
Who's running Fanatics? I said, this puts the players in a tough spot, though, because now if you come out against the see-through pants,
right,
we're going to think your willy's small. Like, you have a small willy. Because the only person who'd want to hide your Johnson is if you're a small meat gang. So it puts you in a tough spot. You can't say no.
I guess I see the joke here, but I'm still too appalled, and I feel too bad for these. Like, I feel bad for them because, like I said, this is not. They have no choice in what they get to wear, right? So, like, imagine if you had no choice in what you got to wear to work, and you didn't work at like a Chippendales, and next thing you know, like, your Lowe's uniform, now your khakis are see-through pants.
Nipples through
like,
them.
come on. Like, that's not cool. This is, I feel bad for them.
I saw one tweet, and it was like Fanatics jerseys for 2024, and it was the Average Joe's dodgeball scene where they come out in, like, all, like, chains and whips and stuff, like nipple tassels and stuff. So
bad.
Yeah, that one was bad. And it's just so confusing.
And if they're so tested... If they're so tested, you're telling me you put these pants on somebody, you never had them do that motion, you never saw what could happen here?
It's so confusing, too, because Nike, and I don't know if these are made by Fanatics, but Nike makes great baseball uniforms. This is Oregon's, like, throwback to, like, their World Series team in the 40s. And those jerseys look sweet. But no, we're stuck with...
Well, but are these from this year?
Yeah, this is this year for college, for Oregon.
Oh, wow, okay.
But, yeah, I mean, normal baseball. That's what baseball uniform looks like. And we're stuck with that and this.
Wow.
So it's pretty tough.
Like I said, I'm sure I'm feeling like they're probably, after seeing that last photo, they're probably going to have to fix this. But until then, I honestly just feel bad. So bad.
Are we hitting the hammer on a gavel saying they're being cheap, made a cheap jersey?
Yeah.
Do they have the balls to fix it? Also, maybe they can fix it, like, easily. And if you can fix it easily, I think you would do that. It's bad for your brand to have bad jerseys, right? But would it cost money for them, you think?
I think the jerseys would be the harder one because...
The machines and, like,
because you've already set the machines and everything for, like, the embroidery. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I would think that the pants would be easier because you can just say, okay, we're using this linen, or we're going back to last year's linen, or whatever cloth they used for those pants. Like, the pants are typically either, like, white
I gotta get this guy's nuts off the screen.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I would assume that the pants would probably be easier. Now, what you're probably going to run into is if the pants and the jerseys are made out of the same type of material.
Off color?
Then
they're already off color.
Well, but then it might be off even, like, in consistency of, like, how see-through they are. You know what I mean?
I guess. Like, but what I thought was bad, too, is that some of the uniforms are already off color. Like, the pants and the jerseys this year didn't match. And then also Fanatic,
what a mess.
In the past, since these guys are the top echelon, like the upper echelon of baseball players and they're professional athletes.
They should have the best jerseys.
Yes, but in the past, they also were able to get their pants tailored to them.
Sure.
Apparently,
makes sense.
by Nike and Fanatics. This year, Nike and Fanatics don't tailor the pants.
Well, that's
they have to get their own tailors. That's cheap.
Right, and that's why, like, and you have, like, an entire team that, like, doesn't have pants. Like, this whole thing is wild. It's absolutely no. Look, if you're listening to this and you work for Nike or Fanatics or whoever, and you have any idea what's going on with this, let me know, because until you do, I'm just going to assume this is because you guys are cheap.
Unless you guys sponsor our show, and then we're going to
No.
say this is the best jersey we've ever seen.
I'll never
in our
say
lives.
that. So
I
don't
will.
even, no.
You can
I'm
buy
not-
me.
You
I
can.
was- you can buy
Not
me.
me. Not me. I'm not for this.
So,
But yeah, I imagine it's probably going to be hard. Their easiest bet might actually be to like uniform undies. Like everyone's getting sliding
That's
pants.
bad though. That is
Everyone's
so much
getting
extra work.
sliders
Just
that
make
are gonna be the same.
I don't think it's that hard to make uniforms that work.
No,
But
I don't know.
It's just so baseball. Everything's going well. Spring training. Everyone's excited. Let's shoot ourselves in the leg.
And now
and
they're
have-
really excited. And if they're
No.
super excited, we can see it.
Yeah, it's bad. But spring training's back, and it's just getting underway. I think this is like the 4th day of spring training as of today, as we're talking. And I love spring training because it's not real baseball like we talked about in our spring training show we just did, kind of.
Yeah, if you've got any questions about spring training, go check out our Spring Training 101 video where you can learn all about why spring training. Why do we do that?
So it's not real baseball because it's like, relaxed.
Well, it doesn't count for the season, but it is baseball.
The studs play like 3 innings, and then like minor leaguers and prospects and dudes trying to get a job play. So it's kind of like a laid back Sunday league type of vibe in spring training, and a lot of dumb stuff happens. I really enjoy spring training because of the fact that it's a lot of all day games for the most part, and you see stuff in spring training that you would never see in the regular season because people are starting to get back. So I'm going to show you 2 videos, and I want you. Well, the first one, I just want you to tell me what's wrong in this video and see if you catch it, because I had to double watch it in order to figure out what was going on. So this is the first video. Things you'd only see in spring training.
To third, tricky hop. No play at second, throw to first.
Did you notice anything wrong with that?
No, I need to watch it again.
So the situation is 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs in this Marlins Cardinals spring training game. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs, and watch this play again.
So didn't they get like a double play?
To third.
2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. There's nobody on first base, and he throws it to second, and they still got him out. It's like stuff like that you'd only see on spring training. Also, why aren't the umpires' pants see-through?
Because everybody knows that's not what we want.
I don't
They
want
know.
the players see-through.
They did a vibe check. They were like, the ladies, they're not asking for that.
Yeah.
No play at second.
I just thought that was funny. Turn 2 with 2
Hey, you
outs.
still
and,
made it though.
yeah, I
It
guess.
matters.
Whatever.
Gotta get there.
You can't beat
And then this next one was a Rays game that just recently happened, and like I said, stuff that you only see in spring training. I want to see your reaction to this.
Oh, is this where he kicks it?
Yeah, you saw
Yeah, I've
this.
seen this one.
Come
Didn't I
on,
send
bro.
this to you?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but
I think, yeah, because
he kicks it and ends up getting in, like a inside the park home run.
Well, there was another game from like a long time ago where a guy like kicked it into the infield and stopped the run.
Oh yeah, he booted it. Yeah, because I think he dropped the ball or something, or the ball came to him. And he just kicked it to the cutoff man.
Yeah, he just didn't get
But
it.
he kicked it in frustration. This guy almost kicked it into the bullpens out in right field. But yeah, I love spring training because you see dumb stuff like
yeah,
this.
I know it's been a long postseason, but someone tell them we're not playing soccer out here.
Yeah, maybe forgot what sport we
Yeah.
were playing. Also, spring training comes with a lot of hope for a lot of people. Baseball's back. Maybe this year could be the year my team wins. That kind of vibe.
Okay.
And it's also a time for people to watch baseball, see their team lose 9-0 to like the worst team in the league last year, and then immediately overreact and say, "Oh, the season's a wash." Meanwhile, they play 162 games and none of these games count.
Right.
But which team this year are you most excited for? And I have the standings too, if you want to see some of the standings in the first like 4 days of spring training. But I want to ask, what team are you most excited for to see this spring training?
Yeah. None of these games matter, so I don't really care. But I will say,
Don't tell some people that though, because they can swear to you that they can tell how the team season's going to be by the first pitch.
okay.
They're like,
Well, how about this? If that's how you feel, then I love that for you.
Take some
watch,
drugs.
watch our spring training video and then come back to me and say that, and maybe you can convince me. I don't know. I'm open-minded, but I don't see it. I don't think so. So no, I don't really care. I think it's yeah, sure, it's fun, but like, no, I'm not looking for any correlation to a potential World Series. However, I will say I'm already really liking all the fun stuff that's coming out of the Dodgers locker room this spring season. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Ohtani on the Dodgers brings us.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So anything that's been coming out from social media on that has been fun.
That's
I'll
fair
say
too.
the Dodgers.
Because I sent you that video. Or you already saw it when I sent it to you. But Teoscar Hernandez and Shohei.
He's like learning Spanish now. I love that.
Dude, I think it's hilarious because Japanese guys come over, or like Asian dudes who come over and play ball in the big leagues. They'll learn Spanglish pretty much because you got a bunch of Spanish dudes and Americans in the
A lot of the
clubhouse.
Americans will learn Spanish because they play with a lot of the Spanish guys, and I'm sure there's probably some Americans or Hispanics who are learning like some Japanese from Ohtani and Yamamoto.
Yeah, but I think it's hilarious though because you'll see an Asian player, and it's probably so hard
Ohtani's
and nerve-wracking.
so cute.
Okay, that's not where I was going
Oh,
when I
okay.
said it was so hard.
I was like, he's adorable when he speaks Spanish.
God, did he? I gotta pull
he
that video up. But what yeah, okay. But I was gonna say it's got to be so hard probably to try to go to a country like America, not being from here, and speak a language that's not your first language, and do an interview in front of people who are gonna be watching it. So it's got to be like nerve-wracking,
Sure,
almost
yeah.
hard to do. But I think it's hilarious when you see an Asian person come over and they'll start speaking like English and Spanish and like a mix of that language.
Yeah, that's what they're learning.
Because that's
yeah.
what they learn in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Like, well, you don't really see like Spanish is either like English and Spanish, but for like the Asian ball players, they come and speak like Spanglish because that's what's being spoke
Sure.
in the
Yeah,
locker room.
no,
So
fun stuff.
Yeah, I like seeing that. So
yeah,
the Dodgers
I like
are your
the
most
Dodgers.
excited
Yeah,
team?
I'm watching the Dodgers this spring.
Well, naturally the Rays because I'm a Rays fan, but I guess outside of the Rays, there's like a lot of teams. I don't know if maybe I should not have said team, but like maybe players. Are you excited to watch like Ohtani with the Dodgers? So the Dodgers are gonna be fun to watch, like you said.
Same answer.
Yeah, but I'm listing some teams that are good, like the Dodgers, Yankees with Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Who went big fly?
Who had a good opener with the Yankees.
He went
so,
yah.
Yeah.
I mean the Pirates are really exciting. I think because they got a lot of. No, you're laughing. Okay, watch.
Well, I sent you that article.
What article?
About
Oh, yeah,
we
you
can
sent
talk.
a- you
Well,
sent
I
a
don't want to.
screenshot.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to like bury the lead, so we can talk about the Pirates later. But I thought I read some interesting things about the Pirates. So
No, wait, bring it up, because I did see it. Like,
I'm not. I basically it was an article from the Atlantic talking about
how they suck, right?
No, the Pirates' problem is not that they suck, but just that they're comfortable with mediocrity. Was kind of the basis of it. I'm hesitant to say more until I don't have my notes in front of me on it. So like I don't want to.
That's fine.
I don't want to be wrong on anything.
I mean, yeah, that's a
But
lot
it was a good article.
That's a lot of major league teams that are just like there's a thing like now with Major League Baseball where you just try to make it to the playoffs and hope you win the World Series. So like you're in the Seattle Mariners front office guy said the same thing. He's like, we're just trying to like be good enough to make the playoffs. And people were like, oh, you don't want to win a World Series? It's like, no, they're trying to be like they're doing the Rays model. Everyone's trying to do what the Rays do.
Which is funny.
You're gonna say because the Rays haven't won a World Series. When have they won a World Series?
A lot of times, and not recently.
Exactly.
But a lot
Yeah.
of times.
Back when,
way more than the Rays have.
before Jackie Robinson played, let's be real.
Okay.
And after a little bit, but
What? 09? Yeah.
That's one
Yeah.
World Series. The Giants have won more. The Red Sox have
When
won
I think
more.
Jackie Robinson, I think 09 for sure. That's
Oh,
like
nine.
saying-
I
I'm
said
like, oh,
and
yeah,
some.
yeah.
I
It's
said
like
and some
right
after.
before the 2010.
And
That's Jackie
some
Robinson
after.
era. I'm not even here to defend them. This is just the hat I had in my car.
All right, yeah,
Okay?
but okay, sorry, but I don't know. The Pirates would be pretty fun to watch, and you laughed at that. I think a lot of people are underestimating the Pirates. They got a lot of young
I laughed
studs.
at it because I can see. I guess what you said I hadn't put two and two together, but you're completely right, which is like this Rays model, which I do think will get you to a playoff. I don't know that will actually, and this is not even me throwing shade at this point. I don't know that model will take you to a World Series. I get the logic of just trying to get to the playoffs because there's certainly logic in that, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like you need to be looking for the ring, and if you're not, then like
I don't blame
know.
it. These small market teams,
That's true
they
too.
look
Yeah.
just get in the dance and hope that it's your year. That's all. And I don't mind
fair.
as a Rays fan. I don't mind it. Yeah, I would like us to hit the ball when we're in the playoffs. Like the last 2 years specifically for Tampa, they've
Yes.
sucked. But
Right.
before
That's the other problem, too, is, like, the
but if you're
choking thing.
consistently good and you're always in the playoffs, what do you have to argue about, or what do you have to complain about? Just
guess.
try to win a World Series. At
Yeah,
least you're,
I'm wearing
at
a
least you're
Yankees
in.
hat right now, so I can't talk much shit. But I don't know. I think if I kept going to the playoffs and not winning, I think I'd feel like a little teased.
It's annoying, but
Yeah.
it's better than not going in the playoffs.
Fair.
So, which you
Better
wearing
than
a
not
Yankees,
having a
you
team.
wearing a Yankees hat, is that a shot at Oakland? Maybe their owners don't wear at least.
I said nothing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Pirates would be really exciting to watch because they got a lot of young kids. Jackson Holiday and the Orioles, and see if Corbin Burns, how he looks in Orioles uniform. And I don't can't even say things like that now because of Fanatics. They ruined that saying. Like,
I can say that.
I can't wait
When
to-
you
you know.
say that,
Yeah.
it's a little spicy. I'm
Like,
not even gonna lie.
I can't wait to see when player X looks like in this uniform. It's
Yeah.
like, no, now I can't say that because
If
thanks,
I
Fanatics.
say Ohtani looks cute in his Dodgers uniform, that's all above board. If you say that,
Yeah,
it's really weird.
No, it's whatever, weirdo. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll say I'm most excited to see the Pirates, maybe the Cubs. I don't know. There's a lot of teams. I'll go Pirates though, because that's the first team I thought of. So I just saw a Twitter
yeah, who
video.
the Cubs just re-signed
Cody Bellinger,
Right. So
yep. Who's a Scott Boras client. But we'll talk about that next. But here's the way too early to care about and should probably never care about because it's spring
Yeah.
training standings. There you go. Dodgers 3-0. The Reds are another team that's going to be fun to watch. They're like the Pirates. There's a lot of young teams in the NL Central that, are going up against the Cardinals and the Cubs.
I mean, no big surprises here, but then like I said, spoiler, we talk about this in our spring training video, but there's been years where a team will lose. They will come in last in their league, and then they will win the World Series. And there's been years, no surprise, where a team has won their league, and then they've won the World Series. So, I mean, yeah, I look at this and I just see names on a list right now.
Yeah, that's all it really is. I just put that out there for the people that think that if their team wins those spring
Like
training,
I said, if
they'll win
anything
the
is
World Series.
triggering you about spring training standings,
Chill out.
check out our other video, learn a little bit more about spring training, or fact check us if you know it all, and then leave us a comment on what you think after that video.
Fact check her, don't fact check me. You
You can try. I have sources, but
you mentioned Scott Boras or Cody Bellinger signing, and that's a Scott Boras guy. Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, Tim Anderson was still a free agent, but he
he's
signed with the Marlins.
Marlins now, yeah.
Yeah, he signed with the Marlins. But you still got dudes out there. Matt Chapman, another. He's a Scott Boras guy. You got Chapman, Snell.
Which is kind of weird because
Montgomery.
pitchers reported
A while ago, yeah.
Yeah, a
They
long
always
time
go
ago,
there.
so-
Boras has his own area where they all train.
Oh.
So they stay. It's not like they're just sitting on the couch eating chips watching.
I mean,
MLB
I'm sure.
Network.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're a pitcher, I'm sure you want to be signed before people start reporting in for spring training, which
Yeah.
was a few weeks ago.
And it's definitely getting to that time. Like, dude, I want to know where I'm playing. I
Yeah.
want to know where I should get a
I
house.
want to know where my see-through pants are going to be from.
So, are the owners all collectively being cheap, or is Scott Boras just asking too much for these players? What would you think?
Yeah, this is a good question. This kind of goes back to something that I sent you that you didn't add in here, which was kind of a comment from, was it the Twins
the
exec?
Twins. Yeah.
So he made a comment that, if you're a Twins fan, sorry, but we're not going to be signing anyone at like 30 mil.
Yeah, we're not we're not spending $30 million on a player.
Right, which was like the biggest fake news because then it was like, will MLBPA sue him? And it's like, he didn't actually say anything, so everyone realized.
yeah, exactly.
Like, are we that starved for content, guys, that we like have to make? Okay.
The
but
reason
anyway,
MLBPA was, or they thought they're like, oh, they're gonna do it, is because there's like a clause in the
Yes.
CBO. Yeah.
it's for collective bargaining.
That you can't
so-
say whether or not you're in on a player or out of a player. Yeah, exactly. But he
Right,
never
so-
mentioned a specific player's name, so you're right. It's a
Yeah,
whole lot
so,
of like
'cause it's
a lot to do about
union,
nothing.
They want to be able to negotiate collectively, and so when you start, singling out certain players, whatever. So it was a big much to do about nothing from USA Today. But the point of it that I saw was it was someone on an executive saying they're not going to spend $30 million on one player, and I thought, like, honestly, he's probably saying what a lot of teams and clubhouses are thinking, and I don't know, like. I'm starting to wonder if we're edging towards towards an era of no longer having like these really big paychecks for guys. I don't know.
I think
And like looking at the clubhouse more as a group.
So you're on the side of more Boras is asking way too much for his players.
It's hard to say because I, as a person, am always really for people getting their bag. And I think you should go for as much as they will pay you because that's what's in your best interest. So, like, I'm totally for that. But they're also a business that they have to run. So, like, having 30, 40, 50 million, 100 million. I mean, the Ohtani contract's insane, but then they even spread it out over like 80 years, so it makes sense. I do think that some of these guys are probably overpriced, to be honest with you.
Over 80 years is wild. They did not defer to payment.
No, every time I talk about it, it's going to be like, it's, you know, the next 1,000 years.
Over the millennium. Yeah. No, I think the big key thing you said was they should get paid what people are willing to pay them.
That's how the market works.
You might think of a value in your head of what you're worth, but if no one wants to pay you that money, you're not worth that money. That's simple economics.
That's economics.
Now, unless you're saying that all 30 owners are colluding to not pay a certain price, and that you might have a problem. But I don't think that's the case. I mean,
well, look, even so, if all 30 owners collude, that's still kind of the market choosing, right? I mean, that goes back, like I said,
not if they're actively saying we're not going to sign this
guy.
Right,
like that goes back to the MLBPA and like that whole like players union conversation. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to become increasingly rare to see these like really large deals. I think there's a lot of mid-market teams that have a shot and they can't be signing like one guy that takes up their entire budget.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a couple of factors that probably have led us to this. Is you've got in the past players have been paid a lot in their 30s, like early 30s, because that's when they hit free agency. They sign like a 10-year like huge contract, and then they're either good or they kind of fall off, and the team is stuck with this contract that's an anchor.
Right.
So front offices are saying, I don't want to have that burden.
Doesn't make sense.
Unless you're signing an Ohtani, that makes sense. That makes sense.
For like 8 generations, they're paying this man. So like,
but unless you're signing like a bona fide superstar like that, it makes sense. If
like Juan Soto's contract's really big too, right?
Yeah, but he's a free agent next year.
Okay.
So unless you're signing like a stud, then yeah, it makes sense. But like, how many of those generational players are free agents every year? They're not free agents every year.
So like a Blake Snell.
Snell won the Cy Young Award in like 2018 or something like that, like with the Rays. And then he won again last year. But in between that, look, he gives you 5 innings of like one-hit baseball when he's on. He doesn't pitch deep in the games, and he's in his early 30s. And front office people probably don't know. They don't want to spend that kind of money on a guy that they're not sure if he's not worth that money. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think
Boras is asking too much.
Controversial take. I actually think this is probably where analytics should be and should stay in baseball. Like, if you're a front office and you're trying to come up with who you're going to pay so that you can buy these contracts so you can make the best team, that I think makes a lot of sense. But
that's what they definitely use.
That's definitely what they do.
They even do that in arbitration meetings to find like your value and things like that.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, I think at a certain point, you've got to decide as a player, like, do I want to play or do I want to get paid? You know, or what I think I'm worth.
Well,
and
the other
those
thing
two might
too,
not be the same. Those might not both be exclusive.
Levi, who wants to come on the show next week to talk about his a project he's working on for minor league baseball and PED use. And he sent me a picture that probably has a lot to do with this too. It was a picture of a graph showing the like increase in younger players being more of the player pool share in the major league. So like there's more younger players in the major leagues, less older players, like over 30 in the major leagues.
Okay.
So you're probably going to be able to get a younger player to provide a similar production as some of these free agents without having to pay that younger player millions and millions.
Well, I'll
and
tell
millions
you
of dollars.
this: you're gonna be more willing to take a chance on like 1 or 2 players that are young and see how they work out than put all your money on one guy. And like, yeah, he's got a proven track record, but if he gets hurt or something, then you've got an anchor now. So
I was trying to find a picture, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess younger people in the game, more young players in the game. You have more avenues to put a productive team on the field without having to spend millions and millions on a player.
Yeah, I guess also like
probably won't be productive in like years if you sign a longer contract.
When I see like our owners being cheap, I think like in this world of, owners, I mean, I know we've talked a lot about the A's, but the Rays are kind of in this, like there's a lot of owners that are trying to do the most to maximize like every single bit. And they don't even really, I'm dubious as to whether some of these guys really care about the fan experience.
Dubious.
Yes, doubtful. I think they're really skimping on a lot of things that, I mean, look, we're talking about see-through pants. Like, there's a lot going on where they're cutting corners. I don't think that salaries is one that is going to really move me. You know what I mean? Like, give me some more deals for fans, and I'd be happy with that. I don't think owners are necessarily being cheap here. I think they're just doing what makes sense, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's like the front office, too. And I just think Boras is at, like, specifically with Snell. Too much money. I don't know why Jordan Montgomery isn't signed yet though, because he was a stud.
These guys are all under this Boras guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Matt Chapman, like if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Matt Chapman is as good as whatever. I don't even know what money he's asking, but if he's not signed yet, I mean, you got to assume all these guys are asking too much. But that's on the owner side of things. Scott Boras, tell him to stop asking. But like I think we mentioned this 2 shows ago. Where I was like, well, if we're wrong. And Boras signs a guy for like $1 million, like $1 million bajillion, then we're wrong, and Scott Boras knows what he's doing. So,
who did he sign for $1 million?
No, I'm just saying like if it happens, he's gonna like we're saying lower your price, and then if he proves us wrong and Snell gets like $200 million, like
I don't know. Like I said, look, pitchers already reported. Spring training's underway. Like it seems like it's time to shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, I'm sure his players are like, dude, what are we doing? I want to play baseball. So, you sent me this one about how the Players Alliance.
Yeah. Okay, so more MLBPA
news. Pitch clock.
Yeah. Did you read this at all?
I don't know. I didn't read. Did you send me an article? I read one article from Bleacher Report.
I sent you a lot of articles, but in this one, basically it's who's his name? Tony Clark. Tony Clark, the head of the MLBPA. He came out and he says he's against the pitch clock. So if you remember, we talked about this.
He didn't say that.
Yes, let me just finish So if you remember a few episodes ago, we talked about the changes to the pitch clock. So last year, they implemented the pitch clock. So there's 15 seconds you get to throw a pitch if there's no one on the bag. And there's 20 seconds you get if there are guys on the bases. This year, they'll be cutting out the 15 seconds with no one on will stay. But the 20 seconds will now become 18 seconds if there's someone on the bag. And Tony Clark and I guess the MLBPA more broadly, feel that this 2 seconds is not good. They are not for the 2-second shaving of the pitch clock. So I know why he said that and we can talk about that, but what's your initial take on that?
I just think it's like yin and yang. MLB does something, MLBPA complains about it. That's what it is. At the end of the day, I actually think it's good for baseball that it's 18 seconds. It's not that big of a deal that you have 2 seconds less to throw a pitch with runners on base, to be honest. And if anything, it makes the game better because it'll lead to more stolen bases or something, guys getting better jumps. They do have like questions for. Well, you said why. You know why he said it. Why do you think he said it?
No, he said in the article I read, his quote.
If I can say first what I think it is, I think it's just him posturing to try to have like a. Just like everyone wants power, he wants to be able to. It's not I don't think it's about the pitch clock. I think it's about further conversations in the future, and he wants to be able to have a voice in further conversations and just get MLBPA's power more larger. If that makes sense.
So I have the quote here. So this is from there's a quote from Tony Clark. So he says, when fatigue happens, you're more susceptible to injury. We're seeing a lot of injuries, and we're seeing them in a way that simply can't remove the question of whether or not shortening recovery time is in anyone's best interest. So essentially his argument is that pitchers have less time to recover when you start shaving off the seconds, and especially when they're basically putting in their maximum effort to get that pitch velocity. It's really important for them to be able to take a breath, slow down, recover, and then throw the next pitch. So he's worried basically that as we keep shortening it, we're going to see more injuries. And I guess what he says is an increase in injuries, we can't say isn't already from the pitch clock. So that's what his stance has been.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like if he's explicitly saying that the pitch clock leads to injuries.
Well,
I think
it
he's
sounds
just
like
saying,
he's saying you can't rule it out.
Yeah, the
you
question.
You don't know.
Yeah, he can't rule out the question that does it not. So we shouldn't be shortening the time with runners on base. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
To that, I think that's a valid point. But like, there's got to be a study, right? Like minor league studies of, hey, we did pitch clocks in this league. We did a pitch clock last year. Small sample size last year. Only one season is not like enough of a sample size. But hey, does a pitch clock lead to more injuries? Just a hunch. I don't think it does. Just a hunch. And some people are that might be like a hot take because people are like, well, what do you mean? You're throwing more? You're throwing quicker, like less time in between. Like, of course.
Yeah, that would be Tony's argument.
Yeah. Well, he said the question. I don't think he's like explicitly making the argument. But I just think a hunch, it doesn't really lead to. I think they were getting injured way before anyway, before the pitch clock, when they were taking 30 minutes in between pitches. And if anything, there's an argument to be said that since you're lowering the time in between pitches, you're not the reason why injuries happen is because they're going max effort on every pitch. And if you lower time in between pitches, it doesn't let them do max effort on every pitch, which means less injuries. So you could argue it either way. Anyone can make an argument for anything. That's why I say let's see a study and let's see data. But
yeah, I wouldn't even really trust that, to be honest with you, because there's so many variables to something like injury, from like, the players' ages and their diets and the game, the pace of everything. There's so much that can go into that. I don't know how you would prove or disprove that. I don't know that 10 seconds or 2 seconds is going to make that much of a deal, but I'm not a pitcher. So, I hesitate to be really strong in one way or another.
I'm not a major league pitcher, I can tell you that. But I did work fast when I was pitching on a high school. I pitched in high school, and I have 3 innings in college. So I can speak from an expert level.
Okay.
But no, I worked fast. And there's a lot of pitchers that do work fast. And quite honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think of the pitchers that work fast. I don't know any of them that get injured.
Right.
Now, someone's going to probably find a pitcher that works fast and got injured. But I think, let me look. I'm pretty sure Mark Burley was a guy who threw really, very quick pace. And I'm going to look up Mark Burley injury to see if he is injured ever. Not to say he wasn't. I mean, he probably was. But we're talking about Tommy John, shoulder problem. Stuff like that. Mark Burley. Will there ever be a starting pitcher consistent? First thing, I put Mark Burley injury, and the first thing that pops up on Google is a Reddit thread that says, will there ever be a starting pitcher as consistently healthy as Mark Burley? So, there you go. So,
if Reddit says it must be true.
No, but, hey, I'm just saying, as someone who has played, and obviously not a major leaguer, but, I'm played baseball. And I just said, there's arguments to say that, hey, you have less time in between pitches. You can't put max effort into it. Leads to, it's pretty common sense that if you're not throwing max effort, you're not gonna, you're less susceptible to injuries as if you were throwing max effort. If you throw 100 pitches as hard as you can every single time,
your arms gonna be really tired.
Yeah, and you do that for a 162 game season versus you throw 100 pitches at, I don't know,
50%.
No,
lob it over.
No, but you get what I'm saying, 80% or something like that. Mm-hmm. It used to be that pitchers back in the day would save some back, save some, save some bullets. But or now, and that's why relievers kind of grew in the game too, because you were able to tell a guy, dude, you got three batters, give them hell, and they would go out there and throw their Wade Davis is a great example, starting pitcher for the Rays, through low 90s, I think, maybe mid 90s. Goes to Kansas City, gets put in the bullpen, helps him win a World Series, and is a bullpen dog. And he throws upper 90s to 100.
Yeah,
so
I think
they're able to let it go.
Like anything in sports, you start changing things around, and really, I think what it always comes down to is a change in strategy more than anything, right? So, maybe it doesn't mean that you're max effort every pitch. Maybe it means that there's a focus more on different areas of pitching that can help you out. I don't know, but I think 2 seconds is really funny for
Someone to bring up. I said
for
it's
us
not
to
about
be
the
like
pitch clock.
talking about.
This
You're
is not
probably
about
right.
the pitch clock.
That is probably most right. Is that it's not about the pitch clock at all, and it's really about
Posturing.
negotiating. But
Yeah.
fun, especially after how much we sit here and talk about how amazing the pitch clock is. It's like,
Love it.
okay.
Love it. More time off.
You know
I want
what?
more
A
time
second. And if you can't pitch it, a run in. Let's just get this game moving.
We should have two
First
batters.
to 50, we're done.
2 batters hitting at once. 2
Yeah.
home plates.
No, that makes sense.
Double the game time.
Should they hit at each other?
No, just right next to each other.
Just right
Boom,
next
boom,
to each
boom,
other.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. But if you get both outs like at once, like if you get 2 like flies and you catch them, then
That's
that's
just 2
3
outs.
outs.
No.
No, I feel like that should be an extra out.
No, I don't like that. That's the Savannah Banana baseball rule. But yeah, that's all I got. You have any other top? I know you sent me a ton of topics though. Do you want to talk about any of them?
No, I think we're good. I think that's most of what I'm seeing this week.
Yeah. I mean, look, spring training just started. I'm sure when we come back in a week too, there'll be something other like stupid stuff to talk about in spring training. Which that's why I love spring training baseball. It's like a beer league Sunday for professional ball players, which is tough. But other than that, I'm good. All right, guys. Well, appreciate it. It was fun.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Baseball is almost here. I can smell it. You can feel it.
It is here.
It's on its way.
It's here. Also,
it's not here yet.
For the record, the last 2 days have been perfect baseball weather. Not a cloud in the
The last
sky.
few days actually, I would say last few, like the week or so, has been really good with baseball weather.
Yep. So, classic spring training. All right. See you guys till next time.
Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling differently.